guys, it's Nasim here. Now, after all of the trials and tribulations that the Pixel 6 series has gone through, many of us have been really concerned as to whether or not we should get the Pixel 6 or the Pixel 6 Pro. And in this video, I want to basically break down what each phone is good at based on various stages of use so that you guys can basically get an idea of which Pixel is better in terms of value. Now, the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro were very big when it came to the Pixel brand as a whole. They both have very different looks from every other previous Pixel. They both had the highly anticipated OS in Android 12, and they were also the first Pixels on the market to come with a Google-made chip, which resulted in a very promising year for the Pixel 6 series. And even looking at them from an individual standpoint, the Pixel 6 was a very premium phone that had a lot to offer in terms of hardware, features, and overall usability, all while costing $600. And the Pixel 6 Pro was the top of the line Pixel flagship that was here not only to compete, but was also here to solidify the Google's hardware as a top tier flagship making machine. And not only was it top tier, but it came with a highly cheaper price, costing only $900. So even though both of these phones came through with a lot of anticipation, they both had their downsides when it came to bugs, but today both phones are much better at handling them, and that's why I wanted to see which phone came out on top. So I will be comparing the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro based on 5 different categories, starting with display, software, battery, speakers, and last but not least, cameras. And now the first thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro was the display. Now the Pixel 6 Pro has a 6.7 inch LTPO OLED display, and the Pixel 6 has a 6.4 inch LTPO AMOLED display that are very similar in comparison when it comes to the overall feel of them. Even when we look at the refresh rate of each phone, the 120Hz on the 6 Pro didn't really feel that much smoother since the 6's 90Hz did so well. So as far as overall smoothness, I will say that the 6 Pro had a slight edge, but I also really enjoyed the 6. And when it comes to haptics, the 6 Pro did a much better job than the 6 because there were some times where my 6 wouldn't respond whenever I pressed or moved something, even after all of the updates. So as far as haptics, the 6 Pro is much more responsive due to it being able to fix its previous problems. And now when it comes to the size of the displays, I can't really give a true winner to this one because size is basically based on preference. Some people think 6.7 inches is too big, some people think 6.4 inches is too small, but I will say that in terms of viewing experience, I preferred the 6 Pro since I got much more screen real estate, and even when some of the video was cut out, it still showed more than the regular 6. And I pretty much had the same opinion when it came to brightness. The 6 Pro was slightly brighter whenever I was outside and wanted to be on my phone, and there were many times where I chose to take out my Pixel 6 Pro because it made it easier using it outside. And now the final thing that I really liked about both the 6 and 6 Pro's display was the fact that they both had really good resolutions. Both phones had nice and vibrant colors, both phones had sharp displays, and both phones gave me an overall great experience. So I would say that in terms of resolution when watching videos, it was pretty much tied. And to give you guys an idea of my experience with each phone, here are some examples of me playing games and watching videos. And now the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro was the software. Now when it came to software, I would say that both the 6 and 6 Pro perform really well, but I encountered an odd situation with my Pixels because before, my 6 Pro was basically unusable and my 6 was much better, but now my 6 Pro is much better and my 6 is facing some problems. The 6 Pro was able to handle the software much smoother after the updates. The animations were much better. I would still get lags here and there, but it was much less often. But when it came to my 6, there would be times where the OS was unresponsive. Like I would be normally using my phone and out of nowhere it would just freeze on me. And when it froze on me, I would have to restart my phone just to use it again. And this would happen to me about once a week. And when it comes to the software running heavier apps, I surprisingly had less problems with my 6 than my 6 Pro. Like for some reason, my 6 Pro would lag really heavy when I was playing games on it and started doing tricks, but my 6 was able to handle the games really well, which was really surprising to me. But if I'm being honest, both of these phones had bugs from time to time, and the 6 Pro isn't perfect, and there was one time where my phone did freeze on me, but it wasn't a reoccurring problem like on the regular 6. And again, the Pixel 6 had its freezing problems, but besides that, the software was pretty smooth and much better than when it first released. And now the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 6 to the Pixel 6 Pro was the battery life. Now the battery on the Pixel 6 was much better for me when I was using both phones on a day-to-day basis. The 6 was able to last me all day with 4 to 7 hours of on-screen time, and my Pixel 6 Pro will last me towards the end of the day with the same on-screen time. And with the 6 Pro, I will usually end my days with about 5% if it wasn't dead, and with the regular 6, the battery will be on 15%, which was much better. Also, I didn't really use power saving mode when I was using it on a day-to-day basis, so the 6 is much better when it comes to pure performance. And now when it came to charging speeds, both the 6 and 6 Pro were pretty much the same. The fast charging did okay. I would usually charge them overnight, but whenever I charge them during the day, after 30 minutes, they'd usually be on 40%. So overall, I would say that the battery on both phones was really good. And if you're someone who's looking to get the 6 or the 6 Pro, then both phones will last you all day with no problem if you utilize the power saving mode. Now the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 6 to the Pixel 6 Pro was the speakers. Now when it came to bass, I would say that the Pixel 6 Pro speakers were slightly better. It made listening to songs a bit more enjoyable. The Pixel 6 was still pretty good, especially when compared to the 6 Pro, but it didn't really hit as hard. The sound quality on both of them were also really good. The bass not being that great, music sounded nice, videos were loud and clear, and the speakers overall enhanced my viewing experience because they were just so good. And to give you guys an idea of how both of these speakers sound, I'm going to play a video so that you can just see how loud they are.
Early points. Derek White again, aggressive. Floats it up and in. Derek White, 6 points, couple of assists off the bench. Vincent making his move, gets a good look, jump shot, it's good. Gabe Vincent a spark off the bench. Caleb Martin tries a 3. Runs in and backs it home. Great hustle from Rooney with a nest of defenders around him. It's Wiggins taking it on the high. Curry with another assist. Wiggins goes from Kleber down to Luka, hooks it inside. Curry, wide open 3 touchdowns. Bravo! Poole kicks it with his shot.
And now the last thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 6 to the Pixel 6 Pro was the cameras. Now the cameras on the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro were pretty much the same. Both had a 50 megapixel main camera backed by a 12 megapixel ultra wide, but I still wanted to show you guys how each of them did. And when we look at these daytime outside photos, we can see that this is where the camera was able to shine. My selfies were surprisingly good, the accuracy was on point, and the resolution was mildly sharp. Now next up, when we look at the outside nighttime photos, I would say that this is where you can see that these were really great cameras. And before I took pictures, it would look really grainy, but by the time the image finished processing, it came out really beautiful. And now the last environment was the inside nighttime, and again it looks exactly the same as the outside photos, but it does have a little more grain. Whenever the lighting was right, I was still able to capture a pretty good picture with both phones. And when it came to video quality, the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro had one of the best to offer. And to give you guys an example, here's some videos that I took on them. So here's the final question. Is the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro worth the $300 difference? If I'm being honest, I would say no. because there was no major advantages that the 6 Pro had over the 6. And if I'm being honest, the Pixel 6 Pro is better because it was made to be better, but it's in no way, shape, or form $300 better. And there it is, you guys. My comparison between the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, let me know down in the comments, based off everything that I told you, do you think that the 6 Pro is still worth that $300 difference? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It will be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.